What's up? What's up? What's up? If you can hear me, say I hear you. Let me know what you got. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Mm, Can you hear me? Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you, KT. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes, it is now. Oh, it is time to start what the business is. Hey, welcome to the long run with Piano Man. I'm the one, the only, the piano man himself. It is what it is. Um, I'm just telling you, I'm so happy to be here to talk some Bama football, to talk about some things in life and all that good stuff. And this is my very first, actually, that's right, JB. What's up, JB? What's up, KT? Kimberly Harmon. Good to see my brothers and my sisters. Man, I'm just so glad to be here for those of you that are here to talk here to talk Bama football with you. Just trying to get everything going. Uh, it is what it is. Um, we're just trying to make some things happen. I'm so disappointed in some things, but we're gonna talk about it because guess what? On my show, there will be no sunshine pumping, no ego stroking, no head rubbing, no singing kumbaya. We can't do that. Now, I'm going to open my show by saying this. I'm going to put this disclaimer out there and tell you this little story. And this is going back to my childhood. Um, One time, JB, I had brought in KT and Kimberly. And for those of you that might be listening, one thing that I will say, don't start, JB. Don't start. Let me tell you this. I had brought in some bad grades. No F's or anything, but they were like B's and C's. And when my parents saw the report card, they like just went in on me. And I came with this crazy comeback when I said, well, other parents said, other kids were telling me, some of my friends were telling me that, well, they bought in C's and D's, and the parents said, well, just do better next time and whatever, whatever, whatever. My parents said to me, first of all, those are not my children. You're my son. You know what I expect. You're, not so much better than them, but what works in their house don't work in this one. The expectations are different. So we expect better from you. That's what my parents said. With that being said, people are saying about Alabama being 9-4. Well, it's 9-4. You can't win them all. This, that, and the third. I want to say something, but 2025, I'm going to refrain from saying things that first come to mind. Ladies and gents, what works at one school won't work for Alabama. 9-4 might be acceptable. Hey, Carla, 9-4 might be acceptable to one somebody, but 9-4 is not acceptable at Alabama. I'm about to say something, and I'm like I said, I'm just hopping straight into it head first. I don't have time to jive around. Ladies and gents, the ice cream truck works at Vacation Bible School. The ice cream truck works at other places, but an ice cream truck don't work for a bunch of grown men. I'm just being honest with you. The ice cream truck don't work. Doing all of these interviews for this, that, and the third don't work. In the words of JB 718, the culture is gone. We've gone from a culture of toughness. Hey, Susan, the culture is gone. We've gone from a culture of toughness to a culture of ice cream and wanting to be a friend. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be a friend. There's nothing wrong with that. But what happened to good old fashioned toughness that when the world has run out of ice cream, what are you going to do then? What happened to creating your value, creating your ice cream, creating your sherbet or whatever it is? Like, come on now. So we had a 9-4 record. I well, I had it here. I had some stats written down right here, but I done misplaced them. But I just wanted to show you from 23 to 24 what these stats actually look like. Wait a minute. I must have I put them somewhere and they're not here. So let's put it this way. Our stats from 2023 to 2024, our stats dwindled down. I'm being honest with you. The stats plummeted. The stats, it was a no-go this year. We had a quarterback who's instead of progressing after the Georgia game, he regressed. I'm just what's up, Gary? What's up, Gary? What's up, bro? He regressed. Please like and subscribe and share and all that good stuff. I hope and pray others will come. If they don't, I got my family and we're gonna make it happen. Uh-oh. Well, my friend and brother, is he here?
What's up, piano?
Oh.
What going on with the piano, man?
Hey, coach. Hey, man, good to see you, my friend and my brother. Welcome to the long run. Hey, y'all, it's Coach Carl, the one and only. Yes, sir. Coach Carl is in the building. What's up, coach?
Ain't that much, man. Just left a basketball game. I figure I'd just go ahead and tap in with you. You
I
asked me to
appreciate it,
join, so
man.
I joined you, bro.
Bruh, man, bruh, I appreciate you. I really do. You got folks in the chat uh calling your name, bruh.
Yeah, I can't see the chat right now because I'm driving.
Yeah, I understand, my brother. I understand. Well, coach, we're already in the discussion. We the people, we want to know what happened to Alabama this year, coach.
Well, by my, from my, just using my humble opinion, man, we we came in this season as with high expectations anyway because of Caleb DeBoer and the style offense that he run. We thought that the offense would probably be, high tempo, dropping a lot of points a game. Which in the first four games we scored lots of points. But the halftime of the Georgia game, we realized that if you don't make adjustments to any part of the football game, that you weren't gonna be successful anymore. And when teams realized that this team was not making adjustment, it began to turn out to a little like a little middle school type offense. So the bigger issue they have with Alabama this year, offensive adjustment, man. We could never find a way to combat the turnovers, to combat the offensive line mistakes. We never could find a way to combat different pressures on Jalen, tackle not being a pass protector tackle. So we just, I mean, it's turned into a learning process for a new OC. I know he called plays before Indiana, but when you come into the SEC, when you come into the South, it's different. I mean, thinking that even from the Big Ten, he would have known about running the ball, but it seemed like he got on the Pac-12 out there on the West Coast, and they forgot about the running game. And then with the blocking scheme that Kalen DeBoer usually implies, I don't think they had the right offensive line coach to even teach the guys the proper blocking scheme, so they were just right winging it, just going with the flow. So it's a learning process, man, for coaching style like this. We had an issue that we hadn't seen since down 2006, man. So we was blessed to have Coach Saban for 17 years. His first year was a rough start, but 2008, man, Coach Saban was what, 11-1. 2009, he won the national championship. 2010, he won the national championship. Well, 2010, he had that power, that national championship team and lost 3 games. 2011-12, he won the national championship. So it's just, I guess, man, we're just gonna have to go through this rough ride with Kevin the boy. Even though he had the talented roster, we're just gonna go through the rough ride. I actually did a video today was talking about what we're talking about right now, but I actually did the video and they forgot to turn the mic on, so I didn't have no sound. So I had to scratch the video. So I did a whole 30-minute video with no sound, so I had to scratch the video. And that's the second time I've done that. So that's why I put in the chat earlier when Coach Sean was on, like, man, I'm over it. It's weird. But yeah, I think next year, man, if if it's the same offensive coach OC, I think we're gonna have the same struggles next year because the guy gonna be have to learn on the pressure, man. So, and one thing I don't didn't like about it, man, was I started watching video, and I never seen an adjustment. So it's kind of weird, man. But that's what happened to us this year, man. We just didn't find a way to make adjustments. When the ship started sinking, we had nobody going in the border. We ain't had no building. We ain't had nobody to throw sandbags in the building. The sink just kept sinking. When you took a
You're on
shot,
mute,
the sink
piano
just
man.
started going down, going down, going down. It was,
You're on mute, piano man.
what's up, Coach?
Coach
Coach Al,
Carl,
what's
what's
going
going
on with you,
on?
brother?
Oh man, just glad to be here. Piano
You
man,
got
you're
it,
on
bro.
mute. Yeah, you're on mute. Yeah. There you go,
Oh,
brother. Yeah, there you go.
there we go. All right. What you trying to do there? Coach Al, to me.
Evening, brother. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing the best I can with what I got. I'm just telling you.
Love it. Love it, man.
Yeah, yeah, man. Well, Coach, wait a minute, Coach Al.
Yeah.
I see the J. Is that Jackson State?
Hey, D, I love. Yeah.
The, S- the SWAC champion?
Black
The
champions, that's right.
That's it, man.
Yeah,
The
yeah. National
champ.
champions, HBCU national champs. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
man. You
representing a
know,
little
I'm
bit.
I'm just about an hour south of Jackson.
Yeah, you're
I'm
in the
supposed
hub.
to be up there tomorrow for a no, no. I'm supposed to be heading in that direction tomorrow, but I'm not going to be able to go. But
Gotcha.
brother, Jackson State is still what's up. It's
Yeah,
still
they brought
what's
it
up.
back. Yeah, they went
They
old
brought,
school. Yeah,
but Coach Al,
yeah,
we the people want to know. We heard from Coach Carl.
yeah.
What happened with Alabama?
Multiple organ failure. That's the way I like to categorize it. There's no one. There's not
Damn.
one. Yeah, there's not one thing that caused this season to go sideways by our standards. The way I see it, A lot of it is truly transitionary with this new staff, the new players, everything. Everything had to go right for us to have a 11-1 or 10-2 kind of season. Play everything had to go right. Everything had to go right. Uh, and I also think too, there's a lot a learning curve with the staff. Uh, to me, I saw a little bit of arrogance, and sometimes that they thought that we had a I don't think the staff has had it as talented as roster as they had. They thought they had so many toys that they can just show up and that trickled down to the players. That's why we're so up and down. Uh, the past regime with Nick, they knew every week was a dog fight. They knew that, okay.
Uh-huh.
And so when you know that going in, that's why Nick was so adamant about rat poison. Okay, he preached that, but it wasn't a slogan with him. He actually lived that, and if you were going to play for him, you had to absolutely buy into that. So what we saw from this staff this year was a little bit of arrogance. A lot of times that it's just like in the last game. Sometimes a lot of play callers, like self included, we script up about 15, 20 plays based on film study of what we think we can get out the gate real fast. And what happens if you know they turn the tricks on you? You got to be able to adjust right there on the fly and say, okay, let's get back to what we can do good to see we're not going to change what we do just for a game plan. We got to stay the character and what our
Right.
philosophy is. Uh, but they waited too late to switch in this last game till the game got out of control. And as Coach Carl said, they didn't adjust. We saw that a lot. A lot of that's inexperience,
Uh-huh.
you know.
Well,
And yeah, go ahead.
but coach, when you talk about adjust,
Yeah,
from being a play caller
You want me to
yourself,
go here?
yeah.
at what point do you realize that you need to make adjustments?
When you can't move the ball, it ain't complicated. It ain't complicated, man. The idea of playing offensive football is to score points and to manipulate or know that you can control the defense that you're running against. That means that you scouted them. See, let me tell you something. They don't have counters for nothing. Okay, that's why you
Accurate.
have a counter play. But when that's full flow going one way and they playing you that way, you counter them. Well, the same thing goes with what you're calling. For instance, you go back to that last game, and I was able to get somebody had put out there had racked every pass play that was thrown in that Michigan game, the last Michigan game. So when I'm
Okay.
sitting there watching those plays, I'm sitting there counting how much time there is to throw the football. Okay, and I'm looking at how the pass rush held up or not held up, and not necessarily sacks, but how is the quarterback affected. Okay, so what happens in a situation like that? If you know that your five guys can't hold for more than 2.5 seconds and you're not adjusting your routes, that's coaching, man. If you don't change the launch point, and Coach Carr, I've been saying this all year long. Why we got a mobile quarterback, we're not getting him on the edge, applying pressure to the defense. We never saw that this year, to the point that it gave the other team another thing to deal with, a guy that's lethal with his feet. And it sets up a lot of things to shift the defense in the back end and at different levels. You can't spot a guy a lot of time when he's on the move, and you set it up to do that. We saw no boots, no waggles, no slants, no hitches. We didn't see any of that stuff that would help the offensive line. Uh, you ain't got to hold it 2.5, 5 seconds, because everything they do was a three up was probably a three a pattern where you got to go three reads and a check down. You ain't got that much time. But when you go and look at all the passes that were called, most of them, lots of time the quarterback would check it down because he know he was running for his life. So that's just what I see from the offensive side of the ball. Um, Defensive side of the ball, I think that it all starts up front. We saw a tremendous amount of growth with our back end players, the youngsters. But what I didn't see up front was the I didn't see a lot of movement. I didn't see a lot of guys. You're trying to free up one on one in the middle. Other than James Smith, he's just an exceptional guy. Um, last game, I was happy to see Jeremiah Beeman out there. He's going to be a stud, number 92. I love that kid, man. I'm telling you, look out for that dude.
Yeah.
Defensively, I just didn't see enough creativity up front to exploit some of the talented guys we had and use their athleticism to an advantage. And I think some of that's the scheme, but some of that's on the D line coach, I think, too, in development. So, like I say, multiple organ failure. Uh, I think DeBoer should have taken more control. I think in terms of so I can go on and on, Piano Man. That's just a lot of things that I call it chemistry, communication failures, and trust. That's what happens with a new regime. Hopefully, with the track record that DeBoer has, he can demonstrate he can pull it together. With Courtney Morgan and staff getting us good players and stuff, and I would expect to see some more changes in the coaching staff too. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You Coach Allen, I'm gonna come back to you
Yeah.
right about now. Let me cough right quick. My sinuses, excuse me, draining again. But Coach Al, I'm coming
Yeah.
back to you, Coach Carl. Coach Al, JB and I, 718, were talking the other day, and he made a statement that he even noticed there are trust issues.
Right.
Trust issues. Talk about those trust issues. Uh, what causes trust issues, Coach Al, from a football perspective?
Well, to me, it boils down to this. It starts in the summer. Okay. It starts in the meeting rooms. It starts in the indies. It starts with that. It starts with you. I look at it like this: with my players, I feel like I had to know 5 times as much as them, or more. Why? Because you're gonna run to that special dude. He's just special, but you can't run out because guess what? You got to develop him. Okay. So when the players see that you've hit a wall, that you can't put them in a position to be successful, even if they're the third string guy, he can't see where he's being involved. They don't trust you. They say this guy don't know what he's doing. I mean, what he's calling is ineffective. We can't move the ball. We can't affect the defense. We can't make changes, in-game adjustments. To say, oh, hey, coach, for instance, you take Ryan Williams, for instance. First year guy, electric player. He's still a rookie. He's still a freshman. And teams figured out early on that they can get physical with him. Okay. And take him off and throw the timing off the routes. Well, as a coach, if I know that he's my number one guy, I'm not going to put him in the same place. I'm going to put him on the move, put him in the slot, back him off the line so you can't jam him. Different little nuanced kind of things to say, hey, look, if you tell the player, I'm going to free you up, man, and you get success on that, he starts buying to everything that you're saying. You got to do that for every position player that you do. You as an OC, you got to be in the offensive line coach's face. Hey, look, you know, this is what they're doing to us. Okay, let's make this check when we see this front. I'll call this play. You make that check in this blocking scheme. Okay,
Right.
a little bit of things like that, and then the players start seeing little small successes that man, coach said that was going to happen. I've said time and time to players, and I'll be brief. We'll call a timeout. I said, look, we're getting ready to go out and score. I look them straight in the eye. I said, we're getting ready to go out and score. If we go out and score, guess what they're gonna say? Man, Coach Al got us. He dialing it up, you know. And I point at my players, hey, when he catch that six or he take it to the house, told you, he gonna run harder the next time. You know, we tell the tackle, hey, look, your hand placement or your guard, your hand placement is wrong. We're doing this. Your first steps are off. A little bit of stuff like that, but with God knowing that you watching, you coaching them up in the nuance of things, that's what builds trust, especially when they have success. So if I can boil it down, whatever you're coaching your players up to do and they start having success, they trust you. Okay. That's trust.
Gotcha. Thanks, Coach.
It's
Coach
more than that,
Carl.
but that's the nuance to it. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, Coach
Yeah.
Carl. Talk about
Yes,
that
sir.
trust from your perspective. Coach Al's talking about trust. You talk about trust, the trust factor from your perspective.
Man, Coach Al hit it right on the head. Trust starts in the spring.
Hey, man, it started way back, Coach.
When you get to the when you get your team developed, like we start usually start in December, right? Get your team together, start going through film, start preparing for what you're gonna do in the spring. That's when you start building your trust because you get your position group together, and then you start going through this and that, going through here, going through there. You start watching film, you start pointing out their flaws and trying to help them adjust, right? Then
Right.
once you get into the spring, you start going through plays, you start going through individual workouts, and you start helping them adjust their body. You start helping them adjust their feet work, their timing. It's just stuff like that. You start building up that trust with them.
Yep.
Once you start getting to the spring game, you, you learn how to adjust on the fly. So like Coach Al just said, bam, they jamming Ryan off the line, and then they throwing his rocks off. Okay, so you're gonna get physical with Ryan, even though he's 17-year-old kid. Let me put him in the slot where you can't touch him. Now I'm gonna say, Ryan, hey, this is what we're gonna do coming out the slot. We're gonna play this and that. They're gonna come and try to jam you once you come out the slot. Soon as you come out that slot, boom, you run out. You turn out this way, you turn out that way. And then we're gonna have you free. Just go in there, you go right in front of the linebacker, and then boom, split up the middle of the field. Use their defenders to run a pick. You know, you can run a pick with the other team defenders too. All you gotta do is
Mhm.
run in front of the linebacker. Boom, you go in front of the linebackers and then you turn up. Now that defender has to run behind the linebacker, has to trail behind. That throws the timing off. That builds your trust with your star player. Hold on for a quick second.
You know, Cabana, man, I tell you something. Here's a case in point.
Okay.
Take a running back. A lot of guys like to bounce him. Now, as a coach, you know, I know that it's an off tackle play, even though we're running zone or we're running stretch or we're running toss. Most people think when you're running toss, you're trying to get out to the 9 hole. You know, lots of times what we really want to try to do is run toss, say off 7 hole or get hit it up inside. So a lot of times these guys they want to bounce it. Pull the guys over. Say, look, man, look, it, you want to bounce it outside, okay? Stick your foot in the ground and get upfield. You know, but that's not what he likes to do, coach. Okay. So once he trusts you and he do it one time and rip one off, he's going like, dang, okay, that ain't what I like to do. Coach told me to do it. He trusts you, and I trust him because I'm telling him right to try to make him better for the team. Then once he start having success at doing something that he's not comfortable with doing, that's where you build trust with your players. When you talking to him, you got your arm around his kid, man. You know, you talk to him, man. You got to do this. Okay, this is what I need out of you to play. Okay, you got to work his head.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
You know what, Coach Al and Coach Carl, what you all are saying from how I'm gathering it is we have to also teach players how to think.
All right.
How to think. They
Yeah.
they don't think. I mean,
Yeah.
you're doing dumb stuff like when you were talking. I'm an old fullback
Yeah. Okay.
from back
Okay.
in the 70s.
Oh man.
When I ran a dive play, I'm talking about a bona fide dive. There was no bouncing out.
Nope.
You were doing straight north and south running.
Right.
Either you hit him or he hit you.
Right.
It's just that simple.
Right.
The only time that I would bounce it out is if I caught a middle linebacker or an outside linebacker coming in on a slant, or and it was a thing about positioning.
Yeah.
The only time from a fullback position I would bounce it out, it had to be there. That
Right.
that lane had to be there.
Yeah.
I did not go in my head talking about I'm gonna kick it out. No, 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 no. I went there knowing it's a 32, 31.
Yeah. Yeah. 31 dive, 32 dive. Yeah. Right.
I'm
Yep.
going straight up the gut
That's right.
because my coach taught me the quickest way to the next position or to the next destination is a straight line.
Good
Straight
line.
line.
Right.
A
Right.
straight line.
Right.
Coach Hal, Coach Carl, I guess here's my question. Coach Carl, I'm gonna begin with you on this one. How much of the lack of fundamentals are these coaches? Now let's talk coaching now. Are these coaches not stressing to these players about common basic football sense?
Now let's talk fundamentals. Most football coaches can't say that nigga about most fundamental football coaches because and when you start going through practice and stuff like that, the first thing they teach you is fundamentals. They're gonna show you how to hit this hole, when to hit this
Mm-hmm.
hole, the play design to go here, you know what I'm saying, the linebackers cross over here, then you bounce and hit it here. But if you run the inside zone, left inside zone to the left, and the linebacker field that zone, then you bounce it outside. But if the linebacker is the inside linebacker, which would probably be the mic, depends on what front is in, right? So it depends on the mic, which front is the mic is, right? So the mic hit this hole, your outside linebacker hit the outside hole, but then they turn the backside open. Your running back has to be able to see front side and backside. Most
Right.
time with the running backs nowadays, as soon as they start going one direction, and that hole gets filled, they want to bounce it outside. They're not taking account of the outside linebacker, the safeties, and the corners. You really just have to go down here, man. No matter how much you teach it, so it's not, it's fundamentals not being taught. It's just the instincts of the guy who running the ball. If that
Yep.
guy who running the ball is a bouncer, first thing he gonna do is bounce it outside. If that guy who running the ball is a physical downhill threat, the first thing he gonna do is go back inside. So it's always depending on when you're calling a play and your play is designed to go inside zone, and if you want to stay inside, you give it to a bruiser. You put a bruiser running back in the game, and then if that hole is covered, he gonna bounce it back inside behind the guard or the center. 9 times out of 10. But if you have a quick hitch guy that's a bouncer, if you hand it all, boom, that whole field, he gonna bounce it outside. Always. That's why guys like Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry, they make so much money and they get so many yards because they go ER. They a bruiser. So you handing all the Saquon Barkley on the inside zone run and the whole field's on the inside, and he see a damn defense end or a linebacker shading to the outside, he gonna cut it back up inside, and he'll go all the way back across field, gone. That's a football instinct. Most running backs these days are not really practicing those instincts. So you can't really say fundamentals. Fundamentals part comes in on offensive line, defensive line, safeties, defensive backs. Defensive cornerbacks usually have to play all instincts. They can't really play all fundamentals. They have to play all instinct because the ball is so hot. And you got so much talent, so many talented quarterbacks and receivers that you can't really play all fundamentals. You just got to line up in front of the guy and just go for what you know. But the safeties can play fundamental football. Your defensive ends can play fundamental football. The interior, which is mean like the seven in the box. If you control the box, you control the game. So if you control the box, those guys inside that box, they can play fundamental football because you give them a key, and all they had to do is just block the key. You give a defensive end a key, you give a defensive tackle a key. You just say, hey man, you're a two gap. Find your gap and hit it. That's fundamental football. If they hit the right gap at the right time, they make a big play. Hit the right gap at the wrong time, you're gonna push it to another guy. That guy makes the play. So those fundamental keys are easy. It's just, man, when you start talking like the big issue with Alabama is not fundamentals, but I'm gonna just say it like that. It wasn't fundamentals because you watch
Right.
Alabama play football, you watch Alabama train, you know the guys are being taught the position well. So the fundamental didn't kill them. What killed Alabama is adjustments. I don't care what nobody tell you. Coach Allison right there, he'll tell you he's a play caller. And I did a video, which I probably want to talk about a little tomorrow too when I try to do my live. But anyway, when you call a play, pay attention. Go back and watch Alabama film. How many times did Jalen line up at the line of scrimmage and turn and check the sidelines to make sure that that play was still on? Once you line up in a play and the defense adjusts. Bama never adjusted with the defense. Nick Sharon just called a play, and no matter what the defense was, he gonna run that play. They never adjusted. Man, you see Notre Dame line up in Georgia. Georgia defense shift, Notre Dame quarterback turn, look to the sideline to make sure that we still running this play. Georgia line up, Notre Dame shift, even Georgia turn around and look and make sure that that play was still on. Every team we played this year, when we adjusted on defense, they adjusted on offense. But when we line up and play offense, when those guys adjust, we never adjust. Nick Sheridan call a play, he run that play. He don't call all of us. He just line up and call a play and run that play. That's what I'm saying. It's not the fundamental part. It's just inefficient on offense. We had a rookie big league offensive coordinator, and he thought that because he had more skill than most teams he played, more talent, that his talent was gonna outweigh everybody he played or every play he called is gonna definitely work. I don't care who you are, man. You could be in Pee Wee League. If you line up and you run every single play that you call, you ain't gonna be successful. Cause there's too many people out here on the defensive side of the ball making millions of dollars to call plays, and they ain't going out here to get embarrassed. So you can't adjust, they're gonna run over your ass. And that's what happened to us this year. We just did not adjust. It's not the players' fault. I mean, I love Jalen. He did make some bad reads, but it ain't his fault. It's never a kid's fault when you got 30-yard routes in 1 second to throw the football. You can't run a 30-yard route and you ain't got but 1 second to throw a football. It can't work. You can't run a damn you can't run inside zone read or fullback running back dive when you get pressure directly up the middle when your
Yeah,
guards miss blocks in the middle.
right. That's right,
You
Coach. You're
can't
right.
even you can't even run outside zone read when your tackles can't even hold the edge.
Right. You know,
So
Go ahead, Coach Al.
yeah, I'll piggyback on that, man. One thing that was glaring to me all year long, man. I'm not, how people that be throwing stuff at the TV that that kind of when they get hot like that. One thing I cannot stand, man, you old school guy with ball, man. We used to always say defensive end has contained. All right. I don't know how many times I watched our D line uh, lose pass lane, outside guys integrity as a defensive end. I don't care if we got a stunt on. If you replacing that five technique because you got a twist, you got a gap exchange going on, you got a responsibility to have contained. And lots of times I saw us get off. We got them third and whatever, and we let a running quarterback get outside. He bounced it. A defensive tackle on a twist, trying to, okay, I'm gonna dive down this. I'm running the twist and I'm gonna dive down inside. And the quarterback see you coming, he give you the okie doke. You go for it, boom, he's outside. Instead of you playing on his upside shoulder, and that's your target, your landmark, to force him back into the pressure inside, force him to step up. I don't know how many times. And that's on the defensive line, coach. Man. We talk fundamentals. We talking about what is the scheme of the defense to try to contain the offense. So if I'm a five technique or seven technique in or whatever the case may be, I'm a force guy. Unless
Mm-hmm.
unless the scheme is that you what we call squeezing, which means that you squeeze it as a five technique, you squeezing down and the linebacker scraping over the top. He's got the outside, unless you scheme it that way. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You don't scheme it that way. And I don't care if you're rushing four guys, you got a five-man pressure, whatever the case may be. Do not
Mm-hmm.
let him get outside the pocket. We've seen that too many
and
times with our defense this year.
and coach L, if you running 4-2-5 or even a 3-3-5, ain't nobody squeezing the scraper.
Exactly.
You got
Exactly.
outside contain.
You got
Period.
contained. Period.
That's it.
You know, and that's fundamentally, then that goes back to the player. Okay. I tell you something what's happening with the modern day player, man. You know, back in the day, man, and I hate to keep saying it like that, but coming up, we played without pads. We played tackle football in the grass somewhere, everybody trying to get a game with no pads. Even before you got to back in the day, junior high school, they call it middle school, you were learning how to play football. You knew how to play football. Okay. Now, man, you kids, they had to be taught everything. There ain't nothing instinctive about it at all. And it carries over to the NFL. Like if you're on the goal line and you're a cornerback, why are you playing outside technique when the guy can run a slant on you? And you got to protect the slant, take it away. That's instinctive football, and make them throw the fade now. Make them throw the back. Make them, but don't give them the easy throw, man. That's fundamental football. Okay. And kids these days have to be taught every freaking thing, man. I mean, it amazes me. Stuff like that. Just that fundamental era of contain. You know,
Them facts.
yeah, man. I mean, you got third and 12, and you let the guy bounce outside because a guy that's 295 pounds thinking that, oh yeah, I can go get him. Instead of getting upfield and forcing the guy inside, you think about yourself instead of doing your job.
Coach Al, you, you,
Yeah.
you, I'm being honest with you. You are voicing my frustration. At, like I said, on offense, I ran fullback,
Yeah,
but I came in the day where I was a two-way starter.
yeah,
And on defense, I either played, depending on who it was, I either played inside or outside linebacker. That's what I did. And the one thing I found out about playing, especially outside linebacker, that responsibility was taken away. Lanes, I had to make, you had to take that lane away, whether by hook or by crook. You had to, because your job was to throw the rhythm of that pass off. Now, I
right.
was back in the days of the wishbone offense.
Oh yeah,
And that bad boy, when it was ran correctly, both Coach Carr, Coach Al,
yeah,
when a wishbone is ran correctly, it's all systems go.
yep.
It- it- there is no play developing. The play is already developed according to how what the defense gives you.
That's right. That's right.
When you fill your lanes, first of all, it's going to take away the dive.
You're gonna take the dive, the
Boom.
quarterback, and the pitch.
So now
Who
you
you got?
going you ain't got nothing left but an outside linebacker
Right,
and a pitch man.
right.
So now that you've taken the dive away, you got a quarterback and you got a halfback.
That's right.
You better be back there, and there better be some containment.
That's right.
Coach Al, you hit the nail on the head, and the
Right,
same thing works with on a passing play.
right,
How in the world you gonna give up a slant, knowing good and well they can't go out too much on the out?
right,
You know they're coming in.
right.
Like,
In the Michigan game, Piano Man, here's a classic example of what you do in what we call indies or
Right.
fundies in the
What I
defense
call
session.
defense.
Okay. All right. So
What I did was tell
Justin Jefferson,
I made
Justin
my
Jefferson,
corners all. I
Ju-
made all my
but,
corners
but,
play
well,
inside.
Justin Jefferson, he had an opportunity. Okay,
uh-huh.
I think it was a third down situation. Okay, and he had flat responsibility. Okay, so now as a coaching him up in player recognition. Okay, if if you're looking at when the ball is snapped. Okay, say for instance, I'm looking this way. Okay, and I got eyes on the quarterback, and I read pass on when I'm my initial read. Now that's when that first step is very important, and what kind of drop you're taking,
Hmm.
whether or not you're dropping back or you widening out. Okay,
Uh-huh.
if you counting and there's no one inside of you, then ain't nobody in there that's eligible to receive. So what? You got to widen. All right. So in that particular play that I'm talking about, you can go back and watch the game. Converted a first down. If he had recognized that pre-snap, and his first step was to open and widen, he would have been in the passing lane, and they never would have completed the throw because the quarterback would have seen him in the passing lane. But when he dropped straight back, the quarterback had they converted. It's little
Yeah.
stuff like that that you coach up in film study, and this is where the player starts to trust you because you put them in a position to recognize it off the jump through repetition and indies. That first step is vital. That first read is vital. That key that you guys were talking about is vital. So you can play fast, fast football. That was a classic example of multiple organ failure that systemically hurt us throughout the year, especially in the Vanderbilt game, especially in the Oklahoma game. We never read our keys because they were running a veer offense. We never took away the dive. We never took away the core. You got to take something away to force them into what they're not comfortable with. They're a right-handed team. You got to make them left-handed. We didn't do those fundamental things as a staff to put our players in a position so we can have team success and players start to gain confidence in what they're doing.
Well, let me ask you this, and Coach Carl, I see you on the screen now, big bro. Let me ask you this, Coach Carl. Now that this season is over, excuse me, Coach, where do we go from here? We talked about making adjustments. What adjustments now need to be made for the Alabama Crimson Tide? I'm talking about from top to bottom. What adjustments?
Okay, what I would say, man, Kalen DeBoer need to figure out what he's gonna do on the offensive side of the ball, man. Like play call wise, either you're gonna turn the play call over to Jamarcus Shepard and let him call the plays and let Nick Sheridan be his co-OC, or you gonna send Nick Sheridan back to the tight end coach and bring in a top-notch OC. But you
Mhm.
can't have the same offensive coordinator going into the next season, into the spring. You have to have a better, more polished offensive play caller. You're gonna have a Coach Al as a play caller coming into the season. Somebody know how to read defense, man, know how to make adjustments on the fly. In order to keep those kids around, right?
That's right.
Right.
That's
You're gonna
right.
have to keep those kids around. You're gonna have to
Facts.
have somebody to come in and solidify that offensive staff, right?
Facts.
And
Right.
if you don't bring in the right personnel to come in and change the program and change their offensive play calling, you're gonna lose a lot of more kids after the spring. Like these kids hitting the portal now. You fired a defense, you fired a safety coach. Key, and then you lose a safety, right? So it's a lot, man. You gotta do with this staff, man. And I'm telling you right now, if you don't get the right coaching staff in there on offense, you're probably gonna lose Ryan. You know, Ryan is locked in for now.
Right.
He's not gonna go through another season or underperforming. You know, he could have had shit 1,300 yard receiving if some of the plays was played with scripted, right? I mean, you got the head coach complaining that he's cutting the routes all short, but yet and still, this guy is older in his maturity than most of the play callers on the staff.
Uh-huh.
Because if I'm sending Ryan Williams on a deep corner route and they got a safety on top of him and his cornerback and his corners on top of him and he cuts the route off and turn the route into a deep out. Why is my quarterback not seeing that the safety and the corners on top of him and then you throw the route short? Because you cannot throw a deep corner route when the safety's on top of you and the cornerback is on top of you. At that point, you throw the ball directly at the receiver. You don't throw it to a point. You throw it
Right.
direct at the receiver. You stop the receiver with the ball. If I know you on top of me, I'm gonna stop you with the ball. That's why you get Aaron Rodgers and those type of guys that came out of small colleges like Cal that really didn't put up those type of numbers, but he sat behind a guy like Brett Favre, right?
Right.
And you see how Brett Favre made all those adjustments. Brett Favre stopped the ball. Brett Favre throw the ball too deep, throw interception when he had safeties on top of him. And you learn from those mistakes of these seasoned guys. Like right now, Ty Simpson probably sitting behind Jada Miro. And you're like, okay, Jada made the wrong read on that one. He should have underthrew that one, or he should have back shouldered that one. He should have cut the route off. Ryan stopped the route. Boom, you should have seen that Ryan. You should have saw what Ryan saw there. You should have saw what Giovanni Bernard saw right there. And a lot of quarterbacks sitting back watching the starter sees what the wide receivers see. They hear what the wide receivers say when they come on the sideline, right? Jalen gonna be on the headset talking to Nick Sheridan. And Nick Sheridan gonna be like, well, such and such happened, this and that. But he probably not saying that, hey, man, when you see that happen, you see the safety and the cone on top of your wide receiver, we throwing that ball short, or we gonna stop right that. You know what I
Right.
mean?
That's the
Right.
adjustment.
That's making an adjustment
That's the adjustment.
on the fly.
On the fly. Right.
Okay.
They're gonna play you a
Yeah.
certain way.
Okay. we
This
we
year,
we
yeah.
we got all this speed. We know Ryan going. We know they can't run with Ryan. Okay, then let's not run around deep routes. Let's do some JMO with Ryan. Let's run him on a 5 and a slant. We're running 3 yard slant, 7 yard slants. Let's get him pushing the guy upfield, and then we come underneath him quick hitters underneath him, and then he get him the ball in space and make him chase him. Same thing that
Hold
we're
up.
doing a while. Same thing they
Let
did
me
the
ask a
Rose.
question, Coach, and this is for both of y'all because this is what's in the chat. Dwight asked a question: is it really the play calling, or is it a limited playbook? That's for both of y'all.
It's play calling. I mean, a lot of folks say that Jalen can't do this and Jalen can't do that. Man, they sit there and tell you. Did you not see Jalen make those throws against Georgia in the first half? Did you not see Jalen make all those throws against Vandy? Only he made one bad play against Vandy when the route was too deep and he actually tried to cut the route off, but he threw it in double coverage and God understood Ryan on that one. Did you not see Jalen making those throws last year? All those short, quick passing routes, he didn't miss none of those last year. It was the intermediate throws that he had to work on. Those 10 to 20 yard throws he had to work on. Anything between 5 to 10 yards, he was hitting those all day. 10 and 20, he was struggling. 20 to 50 yards down the field, it was easy money. I mean, that's the easy route in football. You can take a high school kid and have him throw go balls, man. You can take the third string quarterback in high school and throw go balls. They can get the ball down the field. The go route is the easy route in the world to throw. Hell, I can go out there right now with rotator cuff and throw a damn go ball. I mean, that's easy. You just
Uh,
the hardest part about throwing go routes, man, is knowing where to put the ball. If you got to watch it, you got to actually look at the corner, see if the corner inside or outside. If he inside, you throwing the ball deep to the sideline. And he
Right.
outside, you throwing the ball inside, the shade inside, away from the safety. You got to make the safety come all the way across to get me. So I want to throw it straight down the line in at my wide receiver, tad bit in front of him, so the safety don't have time to kill him. And if you get there in time, my receiver have time to see the safety coming. You throw it too far inside on the hash, it's a pick, or you get your wide receiver killed, right? But
yeah.
either way it go,
I,
that's the easier ball to throw. The harder
yeah.
ball to throw is that little 5 yard pass right in front of you, that quick out. That's a
The out.
hard ball to throw, right?
What about
Because
I don't think it's a playbook
that's
issue,
timing.
man.
But
I think
it's not a limitation, man. I think Jalen can do anything you want to do. I think it's just play calling.
yeah, I'm with you. I don't think it's a playbook. A guy like the boy at college, man, uh, they're sophisticated, coach. It's sophisticated piano, man. It's not that there's no playbook. I think there is a playbook there. But you have to recognize what the defense is doing to you to stop what you're doing. Because guess what happens? A team is not going to change up every week. We're going to do who we are. And as you go along, stuff develops off of what you're doing because teams are stopping you. That's the way the playbook should be developed. Every play, especially in these days, offense, the so-called air raid type offense, which goes back to the Tony Franklin kind of stuff, the Hal Mummy stuff. That's where all that stuff came from, the air raid. Uh, a lot of time, if there's a zone stretch play, there's a backside bubble, but there's a backside quick screen. There's always
mhm.
something else that you can do. And then these offenses now morphed off of that stuff to what we call an RPO concept. So that's what the RPO, and it goes back to what you did, Piano Man, when you was running the option. It's all option football. It's just that the game is spread out now, and now you incorporate the pass as an option. So
Yeah.
that's really what I see that happened this year. We just didn't get into our book enough on the fly to recognize what we want to try to do to hurt the defense to keep them honest, whether that be by scheme, whether that be by motion, or both.
Right.
Whether that,
Right.
one thing I will say is before uh, Nick Saban uh, got really to Alabama where it was, he would change an offensive coordinator. He
Yep.
would absolutely get him out of there. If they wasn't having effectiveness and impacted the players positively to get them to buy into what they want to do and executing, the guy's gone. And what we saw this year was a lack of execution, which means they wasn't buying what that coach was putting down. They wasn't picking up what he was putting down at all. And now you take Texas, for instance. Cal Flood is the offensive line coach, but he's also the OC. Sark calls the plays.
Yep.
Okay. So you ask what he should do this year. You know, I know Sheridan is his boy. You don't want to necessarily just out and out fire him. Well, keep him as the quarterback coach and the OC, but you call the plays. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So you keep him as entitled on it. He may be some guys, coach, piano man. They're really good at the X's and O's in practice during the week of setting up the schematics, but they're not good game time guys. They don't feel the game. Okay.
Right.
You know, and that's one thing a good play caller has to feel it, because you don't always put your cards on the table at one time, piano man. You holding something in your back pocket when you see they doing it. They really playing you this way. I'm gonna dial it up on you when I need it. And Sark is great at that. We never saw that too much. Even Lane was great at that. You know, we never saw that too much from Sherry. Every now and then he get lucky and call something, man. You know, but I'm not a fan of his, man. I'm not bashing the guy, but they had kind of. I'll tell you what, man. They had kind of talent we had this year on offense, piano man, and we couldn't average 35 points a game and put up 10 points in the bowl game, right? 10 points against a bunch of backups. Are you kidding me? Literally, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
No, we're not kidding.
So yeah, I think fundamentally, the board has to go back and really look at. He has got to have to go and ask the balls to make those changes with the chemistry on the step. It's about chemistry, communication, and trust. I'm gonna say it again.
Chemistry, communication, and trust.
Yeah.
I'm going back to the chat. I'm going back to Dwight. He said, but he never saw Milroe throw a slant.
Exactly. We've been saying it all year. We've been saying, for instance, okay, all right, let's talk offensive football. All right. If you know a team is a pressure team, okay, and they trying to disguise their pressures, you got to expose them pre-snap so that your offensive line can see how to set the protection. Whether you're gonna hinge it, whether you're gonna slide it, whether you're gonna bob it, where the back is going, that kind of stuff. Who's got what? So a lot of times, if you do that, you spread them out to get them to declare. Okay, once you do that, that's where the double slant comes in big time. You twins left and right. Okay, now you got the outside, you got the inside slant, you got the outside slant, and all you're looking at now is who's leveraged, and that's where the ball goes. It's an easy pass. I don't care if they're running 5-man pressure. I don't care if they run the game. The ball's out. If we didn't do that.
Mac Jones. I didn't mean to cut you off, but Mac Jones, I saw him do that a lot. Michael Penix did it a lot last year.
Right.
If they would bring pressure, and I mean that slant was going, and Odunze, and I forgot the other receiver's name.
Yeah,
those cats was like be dead on and then was gone.
Yeah, we got sighted adjust, man. We tapping, we doing whatever it is. We tapping, giving an indicator. Say, look, we got leverage here. I don't care what the play call. If the quarterback see it, it's a hot. We got a sight adjust. You know what I'm saying? All that's big time football. That's not. I mean, at Alabama, it should be big time. That should be automatic, man. Okay. But shallows, shallow crosses, drive concepts, slants. I didn't see a lot of that enough to my liking. And I certainly didn't see enough of stick-to-itiveness to the run game. I'll
tell you something right quick too, Coach Al.
Yeah.
And I know you're an offensive guy, right?
Yeah.
What do Texas run? What did Notre Dame do to Georgia? Notre Dame put somebody in motion.
That's right.
Whether it was a couple yard motion or whatnot. They wanted to make sure that Georgia was running man or Georgia was running zone. Put them in motion, return them. If that guy carried with your guy all the way across the field, they running man. If
Right.
that guy just sits in his zone, emotion a little bit, cross his zone because it's empty play, they playing zone. You know what the defense is doing. We never done anything motion to try to find out what the defense was in man or in zone. Nick Sheridan called a play. He lined up. He run the play. That's period. And as a head coach, an offensive minded head coach, they say. That's why I say I think that we got a little fraudulent going on because at that point, even Nick, the great Nick Saban, would have been like, man, ain't nowhere in the hell we finna keep running this. Run the damn football. Nick Saban would just sit down there and say, run the damn ball. He didn't give a damn if you got 1 yard, 2 yard, and then you punt. He wanted to make people throw, make people know that I don't give a damn how many times you stop me. I'm still gonna run the damn ball. And Coach Al said it perfectly, man. Coach Al's offensive guy. He'll tell you if you don't put nobody in motion, and you don't find out what type of defense they're running. You got to find out what the defense is in. You don't
Pre-snap.
know what the defense is in.
Pre-snap, coach.
Yeah.
Pre-snap. Pre-snap.
Pre-snap motion, so you know what the defense is in. Once you find what
Right.
the defense is in, then you call a play according to what the defense is in.
Mhm.
You got to do that, man. Easily.
Right.
You know, damn Michigan want to bring pressure. You know, Michigan's a pressure team. Okay, here's where the screen pass come in at. And let the ass jump up field and just dumping on top of the head, run a screen pass. What happens when you keep running screens on teams for 15, 20 yards? They're going to stop coming. Now you can run the ball at them. That's all coaching, man. That's all coaching. It's nothing to do with the players. That come with coaching.
And that's why they don't trust. That's why they don't trust. And you know what? That's why they leaving. It's that simple, man. If these guys trust what was going on, why would they leave?
And when you don't trust, it's also a sign of I'm not really understanding what it is you're trying to do. That's part of it anyway. Because in the back of your mind, you're hearing something, but it's not materializing. It's not working. It's not clicking in your brain either.
Right.
Because I'll give you a good for instance. I saw them they were running something with jam. That play wasn't gonna work if OJ Simpson ran it. That play was not gonna work. I saw them do that a few times this year. It's like I'm going back to what I said at the beginning. They don't think. I'm talking about coaches now. If I'm sitting there and I know you're bringing a lot of heat, especially up the middle. Coach Sean put that thing in a way the other night. I was just like, I said I never thought about it like that. I kept calling it Coach Carl and Coach Al that Michigan will run what I call a calculated blitz or bring calculated pressure. And what I meant by that is there would be a point and a time that they would do it. It's like they would run like 2, 3 plays. Bama might would get a first down. The next series, all 3 defensive stops came from calculated pressure. It was like they had a particular time when they did it. They didn't do it all the time. They did it at certain points. It just totally confused Alabama to the point that to a point to where the calculated pressure began to be, we just gonna do it in your face. They would disguise it, and like Coach Sean said, if they didn't do it from the edge, they started bringing it up the middle, and then it came from a point you didn't know which way they were going to come from. Totally confused them. But Alabama, because they didn't make the adjustments when they were doing it to make the defense think about doing it, it worked in Michigan's favor. So the last few minutes that we have, let's talk about from offenses. Continue talking about offense. Let's talk about it from a running back's perspective. Now, here was the stat I was looking for, Coach Al. I was, everybody was talking about run the football, run the football, run the football. I went back and looked up Washington's stats from last year. Uh, they averaged 118.4 yards per game rushing the football. Dylan Johnson, their number one runner, had 233 attempts. Check this out:
16.
1,195 yards rushing, 5.1 yards per carry at 85.4 yards per game. Alabama last year, uh, Jace McKellar, 890 yards. I didn't go off all into how many yards per carry and everything. Roy Dale Williams, 560. Jalen Milrow, 531. Jam Miller, 201. And Justice Haynes, 168. And Richard Young and some of the other ones that got a chance to play didn't even see 100 yards and all that good stuff. At what point, and I'm gonna start with you, Coach Carl. At what point do we start bringing, in the words of somebody, I'm gonna remain nameless. Uh, when do we make running backs great again?
Well,
We the people want to know, when do we make running backs great again?
well, like I said earlier, they're gonna start with a seasoned offensive coordinator, somebody who believe in the run game. I mean, you can get all these pretty boys that love to throw the football around and work on a lot of these first round draft picks at the wide receiver. But you got to get an offensive coordinator who believe in running the ball leads to throwing the football. Because if you got to affect the running game, if a team got to stop you from running the ball, then you can have all those pretty shiny weapons on the outside and they're going to be wide open catching balls and just running free. That's period. I mean, you look at Ohio State, the game they played on the first, right? They run game was so potent and such a big threat that as soon as they faked the run, Jeremiah Smith running by himself down the sideline. You gotta play the run because they have two running backs. They got $2 million running back in Quinshawn Judkins, man, and everybody know that dude's a beast. You got a $1.5 million running back in Travion Henderson. Everybody know that dude's a beast. So as soon as they fake that run, the defense is gonna hold because they know you got to start those two monsters, and then Jeremiah Smith run right past you. You're not gonna catch him once he get in front of you. It's just that type of game. They looking at Nick Sheridan, looking at the fact that we had Henry Rowe, Jerry Judah, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle on the field at the same time. And Tua had a monster year, just throwing the ball up and down the field like it was nothing. But they're not paying attention that Tua still had 1,000+ yard running back in Najee Harris, right?
Yes, sir.
Had 1,000+ yard running back. The year before that, he had Damian Harris, and he still had 1,000+ running back, right?
And Josh Jacobs.
You got it, man. The run game leads to the passing game. The passing game don't lead to the run game because they can play pass and stop the run. It depends on what type of linebacker you have, but you can't play run and stop the pass.
Gotcha.
It can't happen. So we got to find a competent offensive coordinator who knows that run game is probably the most success you ever gonna have in football. It start from Pee Wee league. People in Pee Wee never drop back and throw the football. You hand the ball off to your best player and you just let them run. Middle school football, you hand the ball off to your best player and you let them run. That's why when kids come up, the number one position kid grow up, they want to play running back because they know when they're young, they're going to get touches. You're going to run the ball. Once you get to the college level, that's when the run game starts to diminish. When you get to these pass-happy OCs, the run game diminish. So what we need to go old school, man, and get a run-happy OC that knows how to throw the football. You don't need a pass happy OC that learning how to run the football. You need to know. You need a running OC that knows how to use the passing game. We had the great Julio Jones on our staff, and Mark Ingram had Mark Ingram won the damn Heisman.
Yep.
We had Julio Jones and Mark Ingram won the Heisman. What that tell you?
I tell you, Nick Saban knew what he was doing.
And Nick Saban know what the hell he was doing.
That tell you,
Exactly.
he had a principle and philosophy. You ask, how you make running backs great again? I give you
Yeah.
three names. I give you Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, and Josh Jacobs. All three of those guys, Josh Jacobs was fighting the Raiders to get paid. Saquon Barkley was fighting the Giants to get paid. Okay. Now, these guys, who could possibly win the MVP this year? Either Saquon or Derrick Henry or one of them guys, running backs. They've shown that running backs are still relevant in the league. When they tried to take them out and diminish their value in terms of salary structure, now these teams are showing that these guys can truly be a cog to carry the load, and it's opened everything up for Lamar Jackson in the pass game. Look what it does for Jalen up at Philadelphia, and look what it does for Love in Green Bay. The threat of Josh Jacobs running the ball, the threat of Derrick Henry taking it to the house, the threat of Saquon Barkley gashing you. Okay. So to me, that's how you make it bait. You have to feature the guy. Okay. You have to feature him. And to me, he can't be a guy that's going to be a bouncing kind of guy to bounce it outside. He's got to be a guy, be a one cut guy. That's why Richard Young, to me, quite frankly, should be. I love Jam, but Richard Young is my first and second down back. Jam is my third down back. Okay, he's more bouncing. He's more out of the backfield catching it. He's the wheel route guy. He's the little A cut Texas route kind of guy that can run a little pattern on isolate on the backer, that kind of thing. So you ask how you make it great. You feature the running back. And second to that, the engine that make it go is up front, coach. You know that. We got to be able to block for them. We gotta let these guys. To me, I say this, and people can tell me if I'm wrong, but with the teams that are left, the portal guys, whatever the case may be, you go get you an athletic left tackle, a guy that has good hips and good feet, long arms. He's smart, instinctive, and you take Proctor, put him to the right side. Okay, he'd be just like J.C. Latham. J.C. Latham could have moved to the left side of Alabama, but J.C. Latham and Neil, guess what Neil's playing with the Giants? Right tackle. He was a top 10 draft pick. But when he got a top 10 draft picks, okay, and they made their money at right tackle. Okay, when J.C. came to Alabama, he went to right tackle. Neil came to Alabama, he went to right tackle. Proctor doesn't move well enough to be a left tackle. He should be a right tackle. He'll make a lot of money. Okay, and you have another guy that's going to improve the balance of your line. That's just my put on it. Okay, looking at what the guy's skill set is. He's a good player. That's Proctor, but I think he should be a right tackle. That would help our offensive line if you can plug the left side with a guy that's not 360 pounds, but a guy's about 315, about 6'6",
320.
good feet. Got a good punch. He got good balance. All those kinds of things. He's twitchy. He can slide step, skip step. He's not opening the door, that kind of thing. So that would help our offensive line. But the O-line coach got to teach that up. So that's what's
Yeah,
going to
and
make the running back great again. Good blocking up front.
KT asked the question about what we can do what can this style do to get kids to buy in, right?
Right.
Let me give you a quick soliloquy on that, KT. Put the right staff in place. You put the right staff in place, they'll buy in. When you come in here and say, hey, man, I mean, me personally, if I were the head coach of Alabama right now, right, and I'm seeing that it's other coaches, it's other coaches out here, man, NFL level, it's other coaches out here in college level that's struggling right now on their jobs, and they're probably gonna get fired, right? I'm sending out text messages, email, picking up the phone, making a phone call, say, look, man, if you get into a situation where your team want to part ways with you, I'd love to have you at Alabama. I'm calling guys like Eric B. Enemy. Hey man, I know stuff not going right for you right now. Let me bring you in Alabama, sit down, and then let's see if we can work out some kind of arrangement here, right? Either I bring you in to be the OC, or I can bring you to be an assistant, or I can bring you to be an offensive analysis. Either way, I want you here with me, right? He coached with one of the greatest, man. I mean, this guy OC damn Patrick Mahomes.
That's it.
He know a lot of football, right? Let me bring you in. We're gonna sit down and let's talk. If my boy get fired in Seattle, hey man, let me pay you and the wife to come on down here, man. I don't give
bro.
a damn if you don't like if your wife don't like being out here in the red state, right? We'll figure out a way to we'll figure out how to make her some Democratic friends somewhere around here, right? We'll find some Democrats that she could be friends with while she in the state of Alabama, right? I'm gonna do anything I can, right? As a head coach
Yeah.
of an offensive team, you see that you got the right defensive coordinator, that you because your defense progressed all year long. They was bad when
Yeah,
it started, then they got better as time went on, right?
that's
So we
right.
know we got the right defensive coordinator to
Yep.
carry this team for the next 2 or 3 years.
Great.
Let me do whatever I can to get the right offensive coordinator here. When this offensive coordinator can bring over the right offensive line coach, right? You got a solid running back coach. You got a solid tight ends coach. You got a solid wide receivers coach. You just got to get the right offensive line and the right play caller. And you get that at Alabama that give these running backs a shot. All these running backs need is a chance, man. No, they may not, the first play of the game, they may not get but 1 yard. They might not get no yard. Or hell, they might if the offensive line it fires off the ball and pick up the right block. And somebody chip and then get on up to the linebacker. Hey, you might be streaking. It now it's up to the safety to make a play. The safety miss, he's streaking, right? It depends on offensive line making the right blocks, and depends on the play caller on the right plays. You got to have the right play caller. You got to have the right offensive line coach, because if you can have Lane Kiffin calling plays, when you can have the wrong offensive, you can run an offensive line coach who can't put the right product on the field or can't make the right checks on the offensive line, it ain't gonna work. So you got to have those two things, man. You got to have an offensive line coach and an offensive coordinator, and then we got to figure out what we're gonna do with Freddie Roach. You know what I mean? He can be a defensive line guy, but we're gonna have to have somebody to come in there and put the right defensive line on the field at the right time,
That's right.
because he's a
Exactly.
he's a great recruiter, but he
Mhm.
he don't know how to he don't know how to set lineups, right?
Mhm.
He putting the wrong lineup on the field at the same time. So
Right.
somebody going to come in and train him on the defensive line portion. And we get the O line defensive line set, man, this team is unbeatable. Like literally,
Right.
you can have Ty, Austin Matt, or you can bring in President One. It don't matter who's the quarterback. If you get the right OC, the right defensive line coach, and the right offensive line coach, that team is unbeatable, man.
Uh, One of the last questions for the night comes from JB. He said, "My question is top to bottom, who would be the right fit or who is available to fix the right spots on both sides of the ball? Because if y'all remember, that's what Saban did. So,
Just
uh,
like,
who would be the right fit and who's
yeah,
available?"
yeah. You know, he's right. Saban absolutely made the changes that were necessary um, for coaching staff. Okay, why? Because Saban knew what good looked like. He knew what good preparation looked like. He knew when you connected with your players. He knew what that looked like. All of that goes back to chemistry, communication, and trust. You do that, you put the work in, and you get the talent that you're gonna have at Alabama, you're gonna have success. Bottom line. Now, as far as who comes in and makes a difference, I don't know the coaching landscape like that enough to talk to that. I do know this that Coach Kaplick, the O line coach, he came in late in the game. He came in January, late January time frame. He hit the ground running, and he really did an excellent job with the recruiting. The energy he brought, stuff like that. Players, it's infectious to the young players, the energy you bring. And so he had to learn the offense. Okay. I'll give him a first year pass. I will,
Okay.
because you have to learn the boys' offense. All right. Think about this for a second. Every offensive coordinator that Saban brought in, every defensive coordinator that Saban brought in ran Saban's playbook. They didn't come in and bring in a new playbook. You guys heard this before. The people on the chat and in the show, they've heard this before. That's an absolute fact, man. That when you come in at this level of play and you're coming in and you've been in a system 3 years with terminology, all of a sudden the whole playbook changes. All right. Now, if you're not fluent in that language, you're going to hesitate. It's just like a translator. You're not fluent in that language. You got to have somebody to say it and then translate it. Then it has to click in your brain as to really what you're doing. So any offensive coordinator that we bring in, I would hope that there's some familiarity with the board system so that he can hit the ground running a little bit. Okay. Or if you bring him in, keep Nick Sheridan as your quarterback coach. Okay. And then bring this guy in. Sheridan knows the mistakes he made last year. If he ain't got no ego, guess what's going to happen? He's going to be an asset to the new OC, because the new OC now will have a feel for the game. Now, during the game time, Sheridan's on the sideline with the quarterback. He's seeing it now. He can help the guy. That's chemistry and communication. But the staff has to build trust, just like the players in the locker room. You know how it is. In the locker room, that's a locker room. That's our domain. It ain't the coach. The coaches got their coaches off. They don't come in our locker room except to make a speech. Okay. But as a dog in the locker room that's running the show. Okay. What? Because they trust him. He communicates and get their attention and get up in their grill, man. You gotta, hey, you ain't doing your job, get your A off the field. We don't need you in our locker room. Okay. That's where the trust comes from. So he has to get a guy that has a track record for feeling the game. I need a guy that can be creative in his play calling. I need a guy that's a great communicator. Okay. And a guy that's super dang smart, organized to the hilt, has a great work ethic. Okay. All of that stuff. He don't have to be 45 years old. He could be a young buck. Okay. I mean, Arizona State's coach is 34 years old? And they took Texas to the line. They should have beat Texas. They outplayed them. I know that.
Well, I'm gonna say this right here. Both you. I don't know if they were talking about both of y'all or all three of them, but somebody said that two of the ladies in the chat said that I guess Coach Al and Coach Carl, you all need to go help them out. Y'all interested? Y'all need to go help them out. They don't want me to help them out because I don't give a hoot if you 9 feet tall. I'll be the guy in your face. I'm old school because, like I said before, we ain't head rubbing, sunshine pumping, and looking through rose-colored glasses, and we sure ain't singing Kumbaya out here, and we ain't going to the ice cream truck. Ice cream is for babies. And all that kind of stuff. Eat ice cream when you go home, not when you out here football practice. We here to try to do stuff. So the lady said,
man.
Coach, y'all need to apply for the job.
I'm old school like you, piano man. But one thing I learned over the years of being a high school football coach, that these kids ain't like us. They not like us at all. So you can get on them and they'll trust you. They'll let you beat them up, right? But you have to be able to beat them up and fix them. If you can't tell them, if you just jumping on them, screaming, but you ain't telling them what they're doing wrong, then they not gonna like you.
Right.
That's right.
They ain't gonna respect you at all. Most of these kids come up from broken homes, single parent homes, no father around. Even they got the dad there, the mom ain't there around, right?
Right.
And like KT said, they soft. These kids soft. A lot of these kids have deep emotional problems, man. Like you can't get on them. These kids are crying on you, man, to go home and tell their mom, right?
That's
So when
true.
you beat them down, you have to be able to build them up.
That's right.
So my thing is like I was in the booth, and then I would see kids struggle. I'll call 9 there, and I'll say, man, what's going on, such and such. Find out what happened here on this play. I want to find out what happened, right? Might not get the information that I want. So at halftime, I come down and I walk on the field looking kid in the face. What the hell are they doing that you just not picking up? Tell me so I can help you. And then they'll be like, well, coach, they ain't coming. The linebacker not coming. I got Chip and I got linebacker, but the linebacker dropped and he waiting till I commit. As soon as I commit, he come down the field and he catch me when I'm on my shoulder turn. Okay. So you got Chip and you got linebacker not coming. You chip, you do a hard chip, and then you keep your shoulder square to the line of scrimmage. Because if you know he waiting on you to turn your shoulders, don't turn your shoulder. Hard chip. Chip the shit out the guy that you blocking, and then you wait on the linebacker to come. If he don't come, here you did your job.
Right. That's
Your
right.
job is to wait on the linebacker. And like I see in Alabama, man, like Alabama pass pro, they double teaming, turning the whole shoulder to the down on a double team. You're not double teaming on pass pro, bro. You double team on running block. On pass pro, you have a block lane. You have a lane that you have to damn protect. You chipping if nobody's lined up in front of you because get what happened. The linebackers come or the defensive tackle is going to wrap. They're all little stunts and twists. So you two-hand blocking or you two-hand chipping, that's a double team. It's not a chip. So you two-hand double team and the defensive tackle stunts and come back around in your gap. That pressure directly in the quarterback face. You can't avoid it. Can't avoid that type of pressure, right? Linebacker, if you two-hand double teaming on a damn tackle and linebacker, they're on a delayed blitz like Michigan ran a lot of delayed blitzes. That's why you saying that Bama couldn't pick him up. Because the shit, so most of the shit are delayed blitzes. They waiting to see what your guard and your center does. If your center turns their shoulder, that linebacker's coming. If your guard turned their shoulder, that linebacker's coming. That's how Michigan play. Michigan's a pressure defense. Most of the Big Ten teams are pressure defenses. They don't have the type of athleticism and the speed on the back end like most of the SEC teams, most of the damn Pac-12 teams have. They have that power up front. So they bring pressure. They get their defensive line to start pressing, and they bring the pressure with their linebacker. They are most of the teams in the Big Ten are pressure teams. Everybody knows it. Hell, we seen Michigan last year. What Michigan did last year? Michigan outpowered our ass and brought pressure. They are pressure defense. So you run a pressure defense and you want to be pass happy. Why the hell are you double teaming? Man your own gap. If you man your damn gap,
Hey,
can't
look at here,
nobody
man.
pressure you.
You talking about line play? Kyle just broke this. Bama just got a transfer portal guy, an offensive lineman, 6'6", 325. Now he comes from a group of four school, but the frame on that guy, man, you need to look at that. He's the kind of guy Coach Carl was talking about for the left side, 6'6", about 320. Yeah, this guy named Anquel Arkel Anugwam. It's hard to say that name, but he just Kyle just broke that. Yeah.
But what that tells me, if they plan on moving prop to the right side and Elijah Pritchard get out of here, they're probably going to the left side or probably going inside. They might move probably inside because Tyler Booker just declared for the draft. But we still got Rock Montgomery and a host of other kids too. So
yeah, I love Rock.
They're probably gonna move prop to the right side and then put that transfer kid at the left side, get him a shot to win that starting spot in the spring. So that what that tells me. Either Proctor going inside or Proctor going to the right side.
6'6", 325. That's a nice frame. You know, yeah. I mean, and he looked like he has about 2 or 3 years of eligibility left. But if he wants to come in here with the offensive lineman that we brought in with this class and compete, that's telling me something about him. and it's telling you that there's going to be some major shakeups on the offensive line, other than Parker Brelsford, probably, and Jaden Roberts. He's not going to go pro. Okay, he's going to stay. He needs to get healthy. If he gets healthy, I think you really got something with him. But he played hurt pretty much all year, man. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played hurt, but I think the draft grades on Jaden Roberts was high. I think he's like a high second round draft pick. So
if he gets that kind of grade, coach, he's gone.
yeah, they got a high second round draft pick because I don't think he's gonna get any better. Like his draft stock will drop if he come back if he already a high second round draft pick. I think he'll drop next year.
Yeah, if they see him like that, when he's nicked up and hurt, man, his marriage was going to be good. What I'd like to see, Jalen Milroe just accepted an invitation to the Senior Bowl. Okay, so you're going to see exactly what he got to put on display with getting NFL coaching.
Well, it's going to be an interesting spring.
Yeah, we're going to have
But as I said, we the people want to know because, like I said in my intro, Coach Carl, Coach Al, and I know both of you all are educators as well. When I was coming along, I brought in some unacceptable grades, and I was an athlete. And I told my parents, I said, well, my friends are they're bringing in, I'm bringing in B's and C's, and my friends are bringing in C's and D's, and my parents just went up one side of me and down the other, but just B's and C's. And I told them, I said, well, my friends are bringing in C's and D's, and their parents don't even fuss at them. The first thing both my parents said to me was, we're not their parents. You're not their brothers and sisters. You know what we expect. You know what we stand for. This is unacceptable. 9-4 for Alabama might work for some other school, but that's unacceptable for Alabama with the talent that you have, with the so forth and so on. I use that as an analogy that Auburn might accept 9-4, but not Alabama. That's not supposed to be like that. So we the people want to know, where do we go from here? And I think that's what I'm gonna start naming some of my segments. We the people want to know because this is not gonna cut it. Because if we don't get this and right this ship, and I got a few things I'm gonna say, and then we'll close out. Number one, we got to right this ship because the ship, the culture, as JB said the other night on the chat we were on, that the culture that we're used to, at least from where I'm standing, is no longer there. It's not there. Something's missing. That's just from what I'm seeing. The culture, the intensity is not there. Then number two, I'm gonna say this, Coach Carl, Coach Al, y'all correct old boy if you want to. Now, like I said, I'm just old school. I just see things from a different perspective, but it's time to put Saban to bed. This Coach Saban stuff, he's retired. Miss Terry's, they're not there anymore. We have a new coach now, and what has to happen, Coach Al, correct me if I'm wrong. You don't hear a lot of talk up at Jackson State about Coach Prime right now, do you?
Not at all.
You don't hear it.
Not at all.
You don't hear it. You do not hear it. Well, it's time for the Alabama fan base to take a page out of the Jackson State book. Coach Prime was there for when he was there. He did well, and they thank him for his service.
Exactly. Right.
But you have Coach TC now, who did some things that Coach Prime didn't do. You might as well give him his credit now.
That's right. Yeah, and he brought in a culture. He brought in a culture that was different. It wasn't flashy. It was lunch pail, steel toe boots, and hard hats. That's what he brought in. We putting B to A. We're gonna beat you in the trenches. That's what he brought in. It ain't flashy. It ain't flashy.
Another thing about that too, Coach Al, is that when Coach Dion left, man, the fan base wasn't happy So they moved on. They moved on from Dion like yesterday. He announced he was going to Colorado this morning. Hell, they was already over yesterday.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
they didn't give a damn. They didn't care. The difference with Alabama fans, yeah, 17 years of Nick Saban, man. 17 years and 7 national championships. Here, they could have won 13 national championships,
that's great.
honestly.
True.
Right?
True.
But I'm always one. I'm one of those, man. One of those people that always say if he had a won 13 championships, they would have came back out of Alabama and put him on probation, right? Because you can't win every year. You go in here and you start beating up on teams every damn year, and you end up like Miami. Miami was probably the most dominant team in the nation for years, man, and they got sanctioned for years, right? So they moved on from Dion because Dion just abruptly left them, man, and went to Colorado, and they was unhappy with that. It's gonna be hard for fans to leave Nick Saban. It's gonna be Alabama fans gonna be hardly the greatest of all time, but they're gonna have to move on from the fact that Coach Saban is not holding the throne anymore, and now it's Kalen DeBoer. We gave Coach Saban hell. I was listening on all those talk shows, man, Paul Feinbaums and all those folks on the radio shows that were dogging Coach Saban his first year at Alabama.
Mhm.
They dogged him out. He don't know what the hell he doing. He need to go back to Miami. He don't know what the hell he doing. He gonna kill Alabama program. They're already in the dumpster. He gonna make it worse, right? He ended up 7-6. They killed Saban. Saban turned around, signed Julio Jones. Everybody jumped on Saban bandwagon. Saban got Julio Jones to commit to Alabama. Then Mark Ingram came, and all these studs started coming. Julio signed, Mark Ingram signed, and all these studs started coming in. You know what I mean? Everybody just started flowing. Studs just started coming in out the woodwork. High school guys. When Julio was number 2 player in the nation, signed with Alabama, that opened the floodgate for Nick Saban. Just like Ryan Williams signed with Caleb DeBoer, opened the floodgates for Caleb DeBoer. Ryan Williams signing was just an instrumental as to Caleb DeBoer as Julio Jones was to Alabama. Nick Saban got Julio. Nick Saban got Mark Ingram. Nick Saban got Big Cam, and they started winning. The very next year, he went and got most studs, and they kept winning. They lost to Tim Tebow his second year in the SEC championship game. Those boys cried like babies. While everybody was talking noise, they turned around in the bowl game and beat the crap out of who? Michigan State, 1 or 2. They killed them.
Michigan State that year, yeah. Michigan State.
They killed them in the bowl game. They killed them. They came back in the spring. They killed each other.
They sure did.
Because they were so aggressive, man. They were knocking each other out a bowl game. I seen Mark Barron damn near kill Marquise May come across the middle. Like they was killing each other, man, because they were so aggressive, so mad at the fact that they lost to Florida in the SEC championship game when they was undefeated, number 1.
Yep.
And they lost, man. It hurt their soul that they lost to Tim Tebow. Very next year, they came in, they killed everything in their way until they got back to Tim Tebow. They walked on the field. Florida was on the sideline dancing. No boy did not even smile coming out the gate. They had an angry look on their face. They walked on the field. They looked around. They started a fight because they thought saying, you ain't going to be smiling when the game over. You ain't be smiling when the game over. And they came out there and they put boots to Tim Tebow ass. Tim Tebow was on the sideline crying in the full quarter. Then they turned around and went to the damn Sugar Bowl and beat the shit out of Notre Dame, right?
Put them on
They
skates.
didn't care. They did not care. Nick Saban brought in a culture that we never seen at University of Alabama. That kill or be killed mentality. What Kalen DeBoer has to do is leave that West Coast shit alone. Hey, leave that West Coast shit on the West Coast. Bring your ass down here in the South. Instead of keep running to California, getting these top right flat kids in California, which I love the fact that he getting them. Man, get some of these damn grind root Southern guys down here. You don't have to get all these 5 stars. Get some of these 2 and 3 stars that ain't nobody paying no attention to. And all they want to do is go out here and knock the shit out somebody.
So
let me get some of them, right? Let me get that Riley Leonard, right? right Atlanta.
Yeah.
Then nobody in the South want him. He go to Duke and shine, put on and get his grind on. Now he at Notre Dame, damn near get a chance to take Notre Dame to a championship game. Give me one of those grimy. I want one of those grimy ass 2 stars, grimy ass 3 stars that don't nobody give a damn about. And you bring them in here and you put their ass to the work. Bring them in here, put their ass to work. Bring me in that side with that Vinny Sincere that they nobody damn want, and he come in here and cut the damn fool, knock fool's head off. Bring me some of those guys back. Bring those guys back. Like Nick Saban did before he started going and getting no 5-star. The 5-star took him on a whole nother level. But he ain't winning that first championship with 5-star. He had one 5-star in Julio Jones and a whole bunch of 3-star. Like Julio Jones, buddy, that came out of Mobile with him from Foley. Brought him in.
Yep.
He brought in small cornerback like Sarah Jones. Sarah Jones wasn't no 5-star. He was a damn 3-star kid.
Right.
He brought in savage, hard-nosed, ready to lay your ass out players. And he started going to get the 5-star kid. He started getting no 5-star rugged. Damn, if I wasn't playing football, I'd be out here robbing people type 5-star players. Hell, you saw them when they got on campus, they started getting in trouble. He had to change the damn style of recruitment because he was getting those damn thugs, and those thugs were getting in trouble on campus. So we got to go back. Caleb Boy got to go back, reassess, start back getting some of those thug, rugged ass players. And then he can start mixing those rugged players with those California kids. And then he'll have a program, man, that for the next 20 years that damn unstoppable. But I don't think he'll be in Tuscaloosa that long because he'll be winning so many games and making such a big name for himself that the NFL be giving all type of money to leave because they don't want him to be a better than Nick Saban. So it'll be that type of program. And he go back to the grind. He get back in the trenches. Go to Georgia. Get some of those Atlanta kids, man, that has the opportunity to be everything, but they don't have the money to go camping. Go down south of Mobile. Get some of those kids down there in Pritchard. That down every night they hit the ground because they hear them gunshots coming through. They just want to get the hell out of damn Mobile. Go down there to Montgomery. Get some of them boys that right across the street from Alabama State. They're riding down the streets and every damn day with choppers in the cars, trying to be thugs. But they talented. Give them a different way. Give them a different aspect on life, man. Show them that, hey, you got all the talent in the world. You put the gun down, I give you a scholarship. You come down here, give you NIL deal 3 years from now, maybe 4. You got a chance to make it to the league. Now your whole life can change. You could change the life of your family, your friends, your girlfriend, their families. That's what you're going to have to do now, Caleb the boy. I'm telling you from what I know. Take your ass to the streets. Get you some of those hard-nosed Louisiana guy, those hard-nosed down Mississippi guy, those hard-nosed Alabama guy. Get you some of them down hard-nosed Georgia guy. And then when you want to get strong, take your ass up there and get you some of them hillbillies, some of them hard rockers, some of those damn top-notch country guys up there in Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, down in damn West Virginia. Get some of those strong, hard-nosed country guys. Those hill toppers, man. Those that ain't got no fear. They out there bench pressing trees, man. They don't even have the bench press. They don't even have steel to bench press. They go out there and cut logs and put logs on the end of the bench and go out there and bench press logs. That's what everybody going to get. That's what everybody going to get. You're going back to the old school, man. Get those kids that need. You got to get the kid that need football.
Where's the fire extinguisher?
Not the kid that playing football for the money. They playing football to get out of a bad situation. That's what we got to go recruit. We're gonna get these kids that they already got YouTube fame, they got internet fame, they already just rocking. And now when you call them, oh yeah, coach, I'm cool. How much you gonna pay me to come to Alabama? I mean, I know you got did 5 offense, man, but I still want $1 million. But you go to Kentucky, And then you get on the backwood back there. This guy down here in the bottom down there, stay down there by the cold pit. There ain't nobody pick up the phone and call him. Hey man, I like the way you play. You strong, you're rugged, you nasty. I want to offer you a scholarship to come to the University of Alabama. All right, coach, cool. And what kind of NIL you need? I don't need no NIL. I just need a scholarship. I get my own money. But that's what you want. We ain't getting that. Coach Caleb DeBoer, I hadn't seen him recruit there yet.
You want
We
to
gotta
hustle.
get back. Yeah, we gotta get back to the kid that want it. We want football players. We don't want football. We don't want guys to playing football to get money. We want guys to play football that love it. Some of those guys at Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, Notre Dame, they playing football because they love it. Because you already know everybody, a $20 million roster, man, everybody ain't getting no millions. The offensive line guys, them guys ain't getting paid no million. Them guys hustling their ass, beating their ass up because they want to get to the money. We gotta get the guy that hustle want to get to the money.
I hear you. Well, fellas, we gonna call this and listen. I think I'm gonna sit down and put something together, and hopefully next time Coach Sean and a couple others can be with us. But we're gonna go back to this. We the people want to know because man, we got a lot of questions. And thank you, Coach Al. Thank you, Coach Carl, for answering some of those questions. But I want to in the chat right quick. Susan made the statement and said, "These kids smiling, laughing, and having fun on a podcast." I can't agree with them more. I'm not hating on them, but anyway, that's gonna be on a different episode. Cause it's something I noticed that after we beat Georgia, everybody went and got some bling and ice, and then turn around and got our hands handed to us the very next week. Can't do that.
By Vandy. And I guarantee you ain't nobody on Vandy style making on millions.
Nobody, including Pavia. They didn't do that. So, but anyway, before we go, Coach Al, tell everybody where they can find you, all your information and all that good stuff. Just tell everybody where they can find you. We want to support you and come hang out with you sometime.
Oh yeah, Coach. Definitely not a content creator. I'm just a guy that likes to talk football with you guys, and you're so gracious to have me on, man. And that also bigger than that we call each other friends. You know, we all of us connected, man. You know that, Piano Man, Coach Carl.
Oh yeah.
And just like we on the same team, so maybe one of these days I'll get a channel. It'll be, you know me. I'm always talking the zone, the negative free zone. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm always talking that. So if I'm talking anything, if I create a channel, it'll be those life skills we have to live by, because football teaches life. You know, when I coached, it was more about, we're not giving you a participation trophy. You're gonna earn your spot on this team. Okay, I'm teaching you some life skills. So, but you can catch me on Twitter at alsand79, or you can catch me on Instagram at al.sanders.
Got you.
Dot 10, so, just holler at me, I'll get back with you, and we just chop it up back and forth,
All right. Appreciate that, Coach Al. Coach Carl.
All right, man. Like I said, tomorrow I'm some scheduled to do 11 o'clock live tomorrow, man. It'll be my first ever live. Coach Al, I love you to join me on Piano Man. We'll sit down. I invited Jason. I'm gonna send the link out to the fellas in the group chat.
Okay.
And I actually gotta figure out how to set it up on StreamYard. But other than that, man, I'll try to do it tomorrow at 11 o'clock. That'll be Central Time. So you can find me sitting on the block, man. I'm on the block, Sport Talk with Coach Carl. That's what I'm doing now. You see the script A behind me. I'm in my kitchen, sitting at this table, which is I call a block because I got a block of granite right here. I'm sitting in the block, right?
I hear you.
Sitting on the block of granite at my island, talking football with you guys, man. I would pretty appreciate it. Or you can find me on X, Twitter, at Coach KD Taylor. That's my handle on Twitter. You hit me up. You got a question you want to ask? You got a statement or something you want me to say or when we talk about when I do my videos or something? I don't mind, man. I ask questions. I send out different videos of my kids for people to look at and give me honest opinion on what they think about this kid and that kid, So hit me up. Go on Twitter, send me a message, man. I guarantee I'll reply. You're having a rough time at night, can't sleep. Coach Carl up, hit me up on Twitter. I'll shoot you my number. We can chat. Do anything I can to help you, man. I'm just that type of person.
Yeah.
You're not gonna find a different me. I mean, what you see on screen is what you get in real life, right? You're
That's
not
it.
gonna see me on screen sitting out here putting on fake, right? I'm not gonna
Right.
come on screen and say Piano Man, my boy, Coach Al, my friend, and then I'm gonna get on the text behind with you and say, man, I don't like no Piano Man, I don't like no Coach Al, man. The hell don't don't know what they talk about. You ain't gonna
Right.
get that out of me. If I don't say it to them, I won't say it to you. I'm
That's
not
it.
gonna be
Right.
in the chat telling you that y'all that I appreciate y'all support. We love y'all. Y'all the best part of our shows because y'all get in the chat and y'all keep the chat going. Y'all keep y'all the question that y'all ask, you know what I'm saying? We get a chance to answer, you know what I'm saying? So we appreciate y'all in the chat. I'm not gonna tell you that while we're on the screen, right? And then get behind your back and talk about you. If I got something to
Right.
say to you, I'm gonna say it to you while we're on the screen. You gonna
Yeah.
see my face. I might can't see yours, but I can see your comment.
Yeah.
So if I don't like you, I'm gonna get on here and say, Brian Thomas, man, I don't like your ass for the love of it. You know what I mean? But that's just a joke right now, Brian. But I'm just saying, if I felt like that, I'm gonna tell you, right? So
Right. Right.
what you see is
That's
what
that,
you get, man. I'm
dude. Hey,
100% me. I'm
hey,
genuine. I'm
Coach
authentic.
Carl. Let me tell you something about Brian Thomas. His nickname is Bino, but it's ironic that you say that because Bino is just like that.
But yeah, that's me, man. I'm telling you, I'm 100% authentic. If I tell you something, I mean it. If I tell you go to hell, I mean it. If I
I
tell
see
you
Kimberly's in the
that
chat, man. Hey, Kimberly, I see you in there.
if I tell
You
you
here?
listen, if I tell you you can call me at 1 o'clock in the morning, damn, I'm
That's
gonna
it,
be up
man.
waiting. I'm gonna be up waiting on that phone call. If I tell you that if you having a rough day and you thinking about harming yourself or harming somebody, go on Twitter, send me your phone number, and I'm gonna call you and we're gonna talk this
That's
shit out.
right. Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. That's
And
me.
don't forget,
You can
Coach
call.
Carl. Wait a minute. I got to bring something else up that you said. See, I listen to everything because see, I've heard you say this before. And listen, don't take how Coach Carl put all that now and think that he don't know God. Yes, he does. He'll tell you, and I'm gonna pray with you too. We gonna have
Oh
prayer
yeah.
and
We're gonna sit
everything.
up, we're
See,
gonna pray. We,
we got
we can have
and let me
we
tell
can
you
have
something.
Bible school, right? I don't listen, man.
Exactly.
I don't did a whole video on mental health, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
I did a video on mental health. It
So
ain't about football to me. It's about life
yeah,
with me.
it's about life.
I'm just a former football player that actually coaching football right now. I love football. I love basketball. I played basketball. I played
Hmm.
baseball. I mean, I love sports. So you looking at a genuine guy that loves sport. But on top of all that, I love God first. I am a Jesus freak. I'll tell you that now. I'm a Jesus freak. So if you want to talk, let's talk. We can talk Bible study. We can talk life skills. We can talk football, basketball, baseball, hockey. I know a little bit about hockey here. I started watching hockey. But it all started with the good Lord above, man.
That's it.
Because he
That's
wakes
it.
up every morning. He gave
That's
us
it.
the knowledge, he gave us the skill set and the understanding to play this sport, and he gave us the know-how, the willpower, and the courage to sit behind his mic and talk sports.
Talking. That's it.
So
And
everything
listen,
we get from him and him only. Love
and
y'all, love God. Appreciate you for inviting me, Piano Man, Coach
we
Al. If you free tomorrow, man, and I do the live, I'm gonna shoot the link, man. You just hit me up, you're a
okay.
Piano Man, and then
Yeah.
we can sit back and just talk football. I don't know the name of the show yet, but I'm thinking about it, man. I was just thinking about saying since it's my first show, just get on here and say let's talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's just talk, man. We want to talk about football. We can talk about whatever. We'll start off talking about football, and somebody have a light question, man. You have three genuine guys on the phone on here right now, and we got a host of other genuine guys, and we can just give y'all our honest opinion about how
Well,
you can do certain things, man. And that's all it is, just
yeah.
our honest opinion, man. It's what we feel that people should do, what we feel that what happened with this football season, and even
Yeah.
in life, man. We got a lot of life skill too. I'm a
Yeah.
military vet. You know what I mean? So I got a lot of life skills to tell you, man.
Thank you
A
for your
lot of life
service, bro.
skills.
Thank you
I
for your
appreciate it,
service.
man.
Thank you for your service, man.
Y'all have a good day, man. We'll see y'all soon.
Yeah, and before we go, I'm gonna say this. These are my brothers, man. Listen, this is my first like on my channel like this, and I wanted to invite y'all, and I invited others, but I knew they couldn't come. They wouldn't probably be able to come. But I'm thankful for Coach Carl, Coach Al being here. Now I'm gonna say this, Piano Man. I'm a cross between Coach Carl and Coach Al and Bino and JB. Now let me tell you why I say that. I'm one of the few guys in the world. I love the Lord. I love to minister His word. And they don't call me Piano Man for nothing because I do play, and I play pretty good. I ain't no, I ain't no Quincy Jones, rest his soul, but I can get in the house pretty cool. But let me tell you something. But I'm one of these guys that if I got something to say to you, I'm gonna say it to you. I'm gonna say it to you. I mean, right, I'm gonna say it to you. How you take it is up to you. It's just gonna come from my heart. Now, I'm not gonna ever disrespect you. I want my people to know this, and those that are following me, I will never disrespect you. But what I'm not gonna allow you to do is disrespect me. And then and I'm not gonna run up on nobody's channel. Shots fired, yeah, I'm gonna say it. I ain't finna run up on nobody's channel and be no doggone bully. That ain't it. Take your end to your channel and do that. We gonna have a civil discussion like we did tonight, and then we gonna make sure that all our brothers and sisters are respected. Cause here's the catch: you come on Piano Man on the Long Run channel and disrespect anybody in this area, I'm gonna pull receipts out on you. I promise you that. And then I'll turn around and say, now let's have a word of prayer. After you got your ends on. Yeah, we're gonna have a word of prayer after. Cause I'm gonna need forgiveness, and you too.
I know, right?
Love it.
Hey, Piano. I'm the same way, man. That's why I call mine on the block, right? You talking to a kid from the block. So even though I'm a Jesus freak and I got God with me, man, at the end of the day, I'm a man. I am a full grown man. Ain't nothing sweet about me. I mean, ain't nothing sweet about me. Yeah, I am a diabetic. That
Me
means I
too.
got too much. I got little too much sugar going on, but ain't nothing sweet about me, baby.
No,
I'm still that hardcore. Mama said, knock you out type of guy. So
hey, Coach,
you get wrong, you get wrong. It's still in me now.
Coach Al,
Listen. I ain't that saved yet. God ain't through with me yet. I swear God ain't through with me yet. But I
Coach
am
Al,
that guy.
Yes, sir.
I get friendly with you, baby.
he he just cut my right arm off, so y'all can just start calling me left.
I'll tell you, boy.
Hey, hey, one thing about Coach, he get on the roll, man. Just let him cook, man. Because he gets in that groove. And I
Yeah,
just sit back and I enjoy it, man. Because one
me
thing
too.
about it, yeah, man. I'm just an OG, man. Y'all let me hang around. I done been around. I done seen a lot, man. And to see people that still come with this freshness, man. That's what's so much missing in the world. That's why I live by my logo, the NFC logo. That's the negative free zone, 6 inch space between your ears. It's a lifestyle concept, man. And otherwise, I would be hanging out with you cats, man, if I wasn't getting that vibe from you that I flow with. I just don't
Yeah,
flow with people that ain't flowing that way, man. We're supposed to be doing what we're doing with the iron sharpens iron. That's what
yeah,
men are supposed to be doing.
yeah.
Men are supposed to be
So
building each other up in a way, whereas you walk away better from it. I walk away better from it every time the encounter happens. We add to each other's lives. We keep pouring into each other, man. And you, Piano Man, Coach Carl, y'all content creators. You know, you just don't know what word you say is going to change somebody's the trajectory of their life, man. Just by hearing something that you say, you know, we never know when we entertain angels. I think that's what it says.
yeah,
you
unaware. That's what the Bible
know,
says.
so be careful who you talk to. So you set the tone on your channel, Piano Man, as to how people should respect each other in this space and what you represent. This is your brand. You invited
Yep,
us here, okay? And the
exactly.
people so gracious to support you and vibe back with you in the chat box and stuff like that. You don't know who's out there right now that's listening to us right now, okay? That needs some encouragement, man. That needs some positivity in their life, because this world that we live in, the construct is so negative
Hmm.
that it's like people you can have the best day going, and then
Uh-huh.
somebody say one thing, it derails your whole day. So why is it that we are so we are so influenced by negative values, negative input, versus accentuating the positive? That's because of the world we live in. It's
Yeah.
geared toward that. It's conditioning your mind for that. That's why y'all need to be hanging out with guys like us, because all we do is project freedom in our thoughts,
Hmm.
positivity, such that we reject that. That's why we bond. That's it. But I
That's
can
it,
go on
man.
and on and on. That's what I talk about in the Welcome to the Day letter that I put out, which is nothing but encouragement about what's the word of the day that encourages us and motivate us that we should key in on and focus in on to create something in this world today that we've been given. Okay, each
Well, I
day.
got a family. Is my bonus family, and we hear from each other every day. Sometimes this is crazy what I'm about to say, and we out. I hear from my bonus family in an 8 hour period of a day. I hear from my bonus family about 7 hours and 30 minutes of an 8 hour.
Wow,
I really do. I hear
Yeah,
from them for
we
it
be
and
texting,
at
man.
my work. I hear from my bonus family for about 7 hours and 30 minutes. I'm in my classroom teaching and I'm chatting with my bonus family at the same time. That's how much they mean to me. And they're
wow.
on here tonight. And I better stop before I cry because those folks right there, man, people want that. They want
That's
all.
true. True that.
I'm gonna say it. I know some folks holler about they authentic. No, they're not. They something else start with an A, but it ain't authentic. I'll say that. But I'm gonna say this. But my bonus family is the real deal. Carla, Gil, JB, Kimberly, Susan, KT, all them, Dwight, Gary, Alabama, man, Bino, man. All I know is nobody better mess with my bonus family. That's all I got to say. Cause I'm like you, Coach Carl. It's some sides of me the Lord ain't delivered yet, and that's one of them. That's one of them. There's just some sides of me the Lord ain't delivered, and that's one of them. So I just want my bonus family to know Susan, Kimberly, Gil Cruz, Carla, JB, all y'all, Dwight, Gary. I love y'all, man. And y'all know that, but I just want to say it publicly. Carl, Coach Al, I love y'all brothers. Along with Coach Sean. Coach Sean already know. He ain't even got to be here. He know what the business is. And so, and others, everybody that's on your channel, man, I love y'all. So we gonna end with this. I
Hey,
might not see you tomorrow
let me tell
in
you one more
person.
thing before you close that piano,
Go
man.
ahead, bro.
I just said Coach Sean, man. Coach Sean is probably the realest or the real in that 1,000. Piano Man wouldn't have a show. Coach Al probably wouldn't even be on here commentating. I
That's
wouldn't
right.
have a show. I wouldn't be
Right.
on this screen
Right.
today if
Right.
it weren't for that brother Sean.
You're right.
That's
I'm
right.
telling you.
You're right.
Coach
And
Sean started his show. We was all in the chat. And Coach Sean said, man, I want y'all to come on the show. He invited us to his show. That's how you see us. That's how you know us because of Coach Sean.
Coach
That
Sean.
is one of the realest brother you want to know. I done been around this thing a long time, man. Been thinking about getting into the YouTube space, into the media sports circuit. And I told Coach Sean that in the line, and he was like, "Man, that's easy, man. I'm gonna drop you a link. Send me your email. Give me your Twitter. I'm gonna drop you a link. I want you to come join the show. And I mean, it was just like that, man.
It was
He
just like
dropped the
that.
link.
Right,
Next time
right.
he went live, he sent the link. I came on the show. Y'all enjoyed what I was saying. And then y'all encouraged me to get my own show. I
That's
came
it.
on 3-4 weeks at a time, and then I just say, okay, they asked them to do it. I just jumped on there and I took the chance myself. Piano Man did it. We trying to encourage Coach Al to do it. Coach Al probably won't do it because he been around a long time. He just enjoying his time. But that negative free zone that Coach Al is always talking about, I'm trying to encourage Coach Al to put it on a hoodie because I want to
Yeah.
put it on the hoodie like my school hoodie, so
Oh
I can
yeah,
rock
I got shirts,
it.
man. I got
So
I
I can
got I
rock
got
it.
I got apparel. Yeah. Which
Okay,
Okay.
so you got apparel. You need to
yeah,
drop that link in inside Twitter, man, so I can go in there and order me some shirts,
See?
man. I'm telling you, I want to support you just like you supported us, man,
will
and
Yeah.
that's
do.
on everything. And the people in the chat, man, y'all go out
Exactly.
there and get that link, and y'all go out there and support Coach Al with the negative free zone, because I'm telling you, man, inside that 6 inch space inside your head, the Coach Al talking about, we all need that to be negative free.
You got
Because
it.
anytime you think positive, positive thing happen,
That's
positive
right.
thing comes out of your mouth.
That's right.
You
Yeah.
start thinking negative, and while you got these negative thoughts in your mind, negative thoughts coming out of your head, it's gonna come out of your mouth. It's gonna come out of your daily activity.
Right.
Every time.
Stay away from
Every time.
negativity. That's why it's a negative free zone. That's why I want one of those shirts. I want them
Me
hoodies. I
too.
want me a hat
All
so I
right.
can support my brother in all
Yep.
All right.
in all phases, man. 1,000%.
Got
You drop that link, I'm gonna buy me a hoodie tonight.
it. Got it.
Drop
Promise
it.
you that.
Me too. And I'm gonna get but and make sure look at him and make sure there's some three X's up in there somewhere because some of these folk be
Definitely
doing
gotta
it.
have got
Because
definitely
I'm
gotta have
telling you
three.
now, they be hating on big guys. You know, us big guys, we got to have our room. I got sensory issues. I got to have my room in my shirt. You know, I won't be sitting up there looking like a big, I want to looking like a can of busted biscuit.
Hey, I'm going on a cruise right next month. I need to
Yeah.
wear that negative free zone on my cruise next month.
All
So
right.
Yeah.
I need that. I need that.
Okay. All
Let me
right.
give let me give my supplier, man. I help y'all up. Yeah. No doubt.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, ski. Yes, sir,
Thank
ski. That's what one of
you.
my players say. Yes, sir, ski.
Yes, sir, Steve. Well, look, we gonna call it a night. I thank you for the very first one for me. I'm out, God, man. And like you said, Coach Carl, if it wasn't for Coach Sean, man, God puts us in places, and it all started with a conversation. But maybe in my next live, I'll be able to tell him because I know some folks. I'm not stupid, you know. I know some folks out there hating, but it's okay. Haters gonna hate, but hate, you know, you ain't never ever got to congratulate me. Just me doing what I do, that's congratulations enough because you can't stop me, you know. So you know, you put your pants on just like I do, bro, player. So that goes for all haters. You know, you put your clothes on just like we do. We just decide to live in a negative free zone.
That's
We we
it.
just
That's
we
it.
just made that decision. Keep that negativity over there at your crib, you know, and yeah, and like my folks say, shots fired. Like my bonus family say, shots fired. I shoot them standing there with the gun in my hand and it's smoking at the smoking.
Right.
But anyway, look here. I'm so thankful for everybody. Thank you for coming. Join the Piano Man, Coach Carl, Coach Al here on the long run. And look here, we don't know where you going, but you got to leave from here. I'm going to get me some. I'm going to give me something to eat. So,
roll,
as coach,
roll
you know,
tide.
it is roll tide, everybody. And we're going to let you know when the next one going to be. But, Coach Carl, we will be joining you on tomorrow. God bless everybody. Have a safe night. And we will see you soon. And roll tide.
Roll tide. And it spins.